Yeah, so hello everyone, and in today's stream we are going to discuss Toy Story 6. As we all know that Toy Story 6 is officially in the debate and it can happen anytime soon. And most likely there are many rumors, it's highly speculated that it can be announced in the upcoming D23 fan event. Yeah, yes, obviously, after the huge box office success of Toy Story 5, uh, so far. It's you can say in high speculation that Toy Story 6 is going to be happen, and yes, obviously it is going to be announced very soon. And as we all know that Eddie Strange, the director of Toy Story 5, have already revealed that Pixar has brainstormed ideas for at least two more Toy Story movies. So uh, you can say there not be much wait to have an announcement. You can say the projects get started or something like that. Obviously, when you have already have the idea for the film, then it doesn't take so much time to you can say plan it or you can then start working on it. Yes. Yeah, so it all started back when Andrew Stanton, who is the director of Toy Story 5, initially during the interviews revealed that Toy Story 6 can be possible and that they think so that franchise can bring more stories for the audience, and definitely when the audience are loving it, then why don't they bring more you can say movies. And also with every further you can say interview or every further event, and you started has been giving us so many hints that there can be a Toy Story 6 and there will be one. And not only Toy Story 6, Andrew Stanton has also discussed the possibility of Toy Story 7, 8, 9, and much more because he indicated that while working on Toy Story 5, he and Pixar has drafted or you can say brainstormed ideas for almost two more Toy Story movies. So this is a, you can say a huge thing that if they really got that number of ideas just while brainstorming for Toy Story 5, then this story indicates that Toy Story 6 is already on the cards. It's you can say it's any kind of thing like we have seen before for Toy Story 5 or Toy Story 4, that initially it was planned that Toy Story 3 was the last one and no other movie will be made after this. But later on, it was further, you can say, extended, and uh, Toy Story 4 was announced. But again, after that, when Toy Story 4 was announced, they said that that's the last one. There will be no more Toy Story movie. But again, after a couple of years, Toy Story 5 was officially announced. And the reason is definitely obvious. Disney and Pixar are making a huge money, a huge, you can say, merchandise sales and things like that from the franchise. So why do they just, you can say, shut it down after only a couple of movies or like that? And also, they do have ideas. They do have ideas. We have to admit that they do have ideas for the franchise because each movie so far in the franchise, there are so far five installments in the 3 decades, and each installment have its kind of special storylines, special focus, new characters, new type of adventure. So they do, you can say, work a lot on these films, and also in return they are getting a lot of benefit too. Like Toy Story 5 is almost crossing $1 billion very soon in the box office. So that's, you can say, a really big deal for an animated movie who is competing, you can say, all of the movies right now. Yes, obviously, and also the you can say the perspective of making you can say Toy Story 6 isn't with the results of the Toy Story 5, but here to tell you all guys as well that it was the perspective even before the Toy Story 5, as before during the production of Toy Story 5, there are, you can say, various statements by the production team, especially the Andy Strand, the director of Toy Story 5, that they want to make a sixth film as well, obviously, and they want to continue the franchise with more stories and you can say with more Toy Story movies. So they aren't, you can say, going to stop at Toy Story 5 or something like that. Like at one occasion, the Andy Stratton said that Obviously, the first trilogy was the Andy's era, and now the next trilogy will be the Bonnie's era. So obviously, he has in his mindset that he have to complete this trilogy, the Bonnie's trilogy, first, and then let's look what we have left and what ideas we could have to work on. Yes, obviously, and also, in spite of that, there is also a statement by Eddie Stanton that they have, you can say, brainstormed ideas for two more Toy Story movies, and on another occasion, he also said that they really want to continue the, you can say, franchise, and there could be more Toy Stories. And so all of this indicates that Toy Story has a very bright future for right now. Obviously, as the, you can say, recently released movie of the franchise is working so well, and before that, the Toy Story 4 was obviously a massive box office hit as well. It also crossed the $1 billion mark, and now the this film is also crossing. So who knows what could be the next film could what could be the upcoming films could cross. Obviously, Disney will invest in it, and so the creators are ready for it as well, which is a good thing, which we because it didn't get in the previous Toy Story movies. Yeah, definitely you're right here, Tanvi. And the one thing which is very obvious to see is that how they are going to continue the storyline, because in each Toy Story movie, although the storyline is unique in each of them, but still there are a lot of, you can say, queries like how will they continue the storyline in Toy Story 6, because as of right now only one element is confirmed about Toy Story 6 storyline, and that is that Bonnie will be there. It will, you can say, be the last part of Bonnie in the franchise, as said by Andrew Stanton, that the next trilogy. So it would be the last film of Bonnie's, you can say, era. So let's see that what can happen with Bonnie's character right now, because there are two to three, you can say, highly speculated plots revolving around it, and one of them is definitely the same like Andy, after started going to college, when he was went to college, he passed on the toys to Bonnie. It can be the similar plot like Bonnie is grown up in Toy Story 6, and she's, you can say, donating or giving toys to some other kids like that. It is, you can say, kind of a scenario. But then other scenario can be that, like Andrew Stanton has hinted that it's also possible that Bonnie is still a kid in Toy Story 6, but he lost the toys. He lose the toys. He forget them somewhere, or she donates them because he no longer plays with toys. It is also possible that toys got lost or donated, and after that, they adventure through through to find some new owner or something like that. And this is indicated by Andrew Stanton himself during an interview, that they can introduce more new owners, not only single owner, more new owners to the franchise. uh, by owners, I'm saying the kids, more kids with toys. They can introduce them in the franchise. So this clearly indicates it is also possible. There is a possibility that they are not stuck only to Bonnie. There can be more owners of the toys in the Toy Story 6. Maybe Bonnie donated some of the toys to some different kids, or give them to some different kids, and after that, all the toys team, the gang is scattered, and something like that will happen. Yeah. Yes, obviously, and we could expect it. You could say very likely, because as far as we get the about the, you could say, concept of Edu Stanton, then you can see after that they have already split the gang into, in, you can say, two different groups. Obviously, like Woody have gone with the Lost Boys and Bo Peep, while Buzz is with the old gang. So obviously he already split out the gang with two main leaders, but so it could be also be a possibility, obviously, and I think so that it could be a very likely possibility. Yes, for a Toy Story 6 scenario, it could be a very likely possible that toys could get scattered and something like that gets, you can say, donated to different owner, or you can say got lost and got somewhere to some different owner somehow. They will go to some different owner, and obviously you know that there is a theory about Bonnie as well, that she's too much careless about that thing as compared to Andy. That she doesn't care about much about the toys who got lost or something like that. Like there is, you can say, a very speculation about the Chuckles the clown. that where does he goes after the Toy Story 3. Obviously, he had a major part, very crucial part in the film, and after that, he doesn't seem anywhere in the Toy Story 4, and now obviously the Toy Story 5 as well. While he was claimed to be the Bonnie's toy, so where he is now, obviously, we haven't got the glimpse. Might be we got something to know about in Toy Story 6, and that will be the scenario, something like that. What do you think about it? Yeah, you also forgot the Woody. Woody is being lost after Toy Story 4, but Woody didn't notice that. Like, for Andy, if Woody or Buzz or any other toy got lost, he was really, you can say, we have seen him in the Toy Story 1 and the Toy Story 2. Whenever toys are not there, he's very anxious. He's asking his mother where his toys is. He's finding them, and he's very desperate to get them back. But that's not any case with Bonnie. Like, first of all, there was Chuckles in Toy Story 3, Chuckles the clown, but he was nowhere in the Toy Story 4 or 5, and Bonnie doesn't care that. And also in the, you can say, Toy Story 4, when Woody leaves Bonnie, uh, Bonnie doesn't have any effect on it. Like, where, for example, for an instance, he doesn't even think, or we haven't been shown something like that. Like, she remembers Woody because in Toy Story 3, she actually first caught Woody and she liked Woody a lot, saying it's my cowboy, my sheriff. She likes it. Yeah, we have seen that element in the Toy Story 4 that Woody now more focuses on Jessie. Definitely, she's a girl, so he likes the cowgirl more than the cowboy. That's natural. But still, the thing is that she liked Woody to some extent, and his one of his major toys got, you can say, disappeared, and she doesn't even care, or we haven't got any glimpse like she's searching for him or something like that. It's something like his toys just got vanished and she doesn't even care about them. So it's, you can say, really, you can say, a different kind of thing to think about. And yeah, so that's highly possible. And Andrew Stanton has, you can say, some kind of given hint about this in an interview, that it is possible that Bonnie will stay in the franchise for the, obviously, for the one last film, Toy Story 6. But they also introduced more owners or more kids in the franchise. Like, you can understand their you can say their concept is something like that. The toys, so far in all Toy Story movies, were belong to only single kid, and now they are planning for something like the same gang of toys scattered over multiple kids or something like that. But if that happens, seriously, Tanvi, it would be really much devastating to see all of this, because for one or two kids it's fine, but if all the toys are scattered, then it will be really hard to, you can say, see like how they manage to do, because if the gang is not together, I don't think so that the vibe will be like that. What did you think? Obviously, bro, the we are already suffering the, you can say, separatement of Woody from the gang. Obviously, we are already suffering that Woody isn't with his old, you can say, friends all the time. Obviously, he is with the lost boys in the outside world. He's not with Buzz. He's not with Jesse there. Obviously, in the Toy Story 5, he returns and help them, and obviously he will continue that in future. He will get, we see that they are still connected with the use of a walkie-talkie, but obviously that wasn't match that vibe that was in the Addy's era. And also, Andy Stratton should, you can say, answer these fans' queries in the upcoming film, especially in Toy Story 5. Sorry, in Toy Story 6, he should answer these things, that why Bonnie is so much careless. Is it the transition that, you can say, in some extent, we can say that Andy was so much careful while Bonnie is careless a little bit, or something like that. But he should answer this, that why he doesn't even, you can say, at least care about that Woody isn't there, Chuckle isn't there, or you can say at least ask her parents or ask anybody that where they are. Obviously, he should answer these things, because uh, it should, you can say, be more, you can say, good if he answered this, because fans are really confused, especially for the character of Bonnie. I haven't have words to explain this, but sometimes I got so much confused with the Bonnie's character. I honestly like the Andy's character. Or Andy is one of the best toy owner in the franchise. Obviously, Bonnie can't match Andy, but still, I like Bonnie too. But the character of Bonnie is so much, you could say, suspicious at the moment. What do you think? Yeah, definitely you're right. And being the way she is, like losing all the toys all the time and never caring about them, it's, you could say, a hard thing to say. Maybe a little bit harsh too, but that's reality. That's reality. We have seen this with Chuckles the Clown. We have seen this with Woody, and maybe we can see this with many other toys too. And also, like in the Toy Story 4, we have seen that she's more connected towards Forky. But in the Toy Story 5, I don't think so. We have got that kind of vibe that she's still very connected to Forky like that. So I think so. Maybe her character is built or developed something like that. That she's, you can say, a kid who plays with toys for a limited time. Like for every toy, there is a limited time. For Woody, it was an era. For Forky, it was an era. For Chuckles, it was an era. After that, he just, you can say, forgot, or you can say just leave those toys. He doesn't care if they are there or not. But anyways, one thing is confirmed that Toy Story 6 is going to be Bodhi's last film in Toy Story franchise. Maybe not last. You can say maybe she can come back in some other installment. But overall, about his era of toys will end in the Toy Story 6. So one thing is officially confirmed that Bonnie will be there in Toy Story 6, and something related to Bonnie will happen in Toy Story 6. And this is actually, because it's kind of an art that how they will end the Bonnie storyline with the toys. Like one of the scenarios we have discussed is that Bonnie grows up and passed on the toys. But that would be, you can say, would be very similar to the Annie's storyline. So that wouldn't match the vibe. And to do something new, like we have seen, I think so they would do something like that, that Bonnie doesn't care about toys. She donated them or lost them, and after that toys, you can say, are on some kind of new adventures with some new owners or something like that. Because I don't think so they will grow up the Bonnie in Toy Story 6 and do the same kind of thing they did with Andy in Toy Story 3, because that would just be, you can say, the same storyline. They would not repeat that kind of thing. I think so they will go more with that, as also it is officially said by Andrew Stanton that there can be more new owners in Toy Story 6. So I think so they will go with this type of thing. Yeah. Yes, obviously, Akhtar, as we all know that Toy Story franchise is popular for, you can say, a unique storyline in every of its installment. Toy Story has, you can say, every time have a new story to tell you. They come up with a new story, a new idea, a new plot that doesn't repeat anything. Even that doesn't repeat their, you can say, much. You can say anticipated characters like Lotso's character as a villain. We still, honestly, we still want the Lotso to have a, you can say, return as a, you can say, big villain in any of the upcoming installment of Toy Story. But they even didn't repeat their villains in the movie. So obviously, there are very less chances that Toy Story 6 will, you can say, follow the same concept like Toy Story 3. Yes, it will based on the same, uh, you can say, theme, but that it will be the last movie of Moni. But they will try something new. And as you are saying that they might try having some multiple owners and toys get scattered among them, that some toys Moni donated to some new owners, or some got lost and get to some new owners, or something like that. So that could be a, you can say, most likely the thing that we can think could be possible, obviously. And one major thing which I need to add here is that now, first of all, in the Toy Story 5, the first, you can say, as per the Andrew Stanton, the first hurdle for bringing back the Woody was that how he was got connected with the Jesse and the toys, obviously. That was a major question that we, the fans, are also asking ourselves, that what could be the possibilities. So Andy Stanton spent so much time on it to get the idea of that walkie-talkie which we saw in the Toy Story 5. And now finally when he has figured out the thing that in the way he can correct the toys even if they are, you can say, far away from each other. So he has figured out that thing. So he might, you can say, use that in the next Toy Story film, in the sixth installment, to you can say, scatter the toys but stay make them connected, still make them connected with each other. Yeah, you are definitely right here, Tanvir, and I would just say that the main thing here is that if they even scatter the toys, there will be a major focus on Buzz Lightyear that is officially confirmed. So what I think so that is maybe there one group of toys is with Woody already, the lost toys, and Buzz and the toys got all donated to some other kid, or you could say being lost or thrown away or something like that. And they then you could say march towards Woody or something like that, and then start some other adventure. It is also a possibility here. Yes, one thing is also possible if they want to divide the groups not into two but into three. Then it could be also be a possibility that, as we all know, that the Toy Story 6 will be majorly focused on Buzz. So it is also possible that Woody is obviously already leave the group. There are two major characters left. You can say two main leaders. One is Buzz and other is Jesse. So it also possible that Bonnie stay with the Jesse, or Jesse stay with the pony. We can say that too. And Buzz, you can small group of toys from the Bonnie's toys got lost or something like that, or got donated, and Buzz have to lead them. That could be also be a possibility. Yes. Yeah, these are all possibilities, but from so far, what we can understand from Andrew Stanton's statements, if you can say just summarize them, then first of all, about the storyline, he stated that it will be Bonnie's trilogy, last installment of Bonnie's trilogy. So one thing is confirmed that Bonnie will be there, and further he said that Toy Story 6 can have toys with multiple owners, not only single owner like Bonnie. So yeah, it is, you can say, highly possible. And like it is also possible, like we have seen that the group of the Buzz Lightyear army that was stranded on the island, later they got, you can say, picked up by the toys of the ponies neighborhood, sorry, picked up by the kids of Bonnie's neighborhood from the playground. So it is also possible that the toys got lost, and you can say we get picked up by the kids of Bonnie's neighborhood, and they are, you can say, still living in the same neighborhood. Like in the previous Toy Story movies, we have seen that but Andy's toys were, you can say, interacting with other neighborhood toys or something like that. So it is also possible that they can do something like that. But still, there will be a major question: is that what it will be the main storyline, main villain, main arc of the whole Toy Story 6. And if we get into this, then one thing is confirmed that Toy Story 6 will be more focused on Buzz Lightyear, as all the previous movies were more focused on Woody, and then Toy Story 5 were on Jesse. So Toy Story 6 will be going to more focus on the Buzz Lightyear and his character. Although Buzz Lightyear has already got a, let's say, a spin-off movie Lightyear, but all of us know that didn't perform really well. And the reason was simple: if you are, you can say, making any of these toys single movie, it wouldn't perform well because they are a group, and the group performed well, not any single toy. So uh, that movie just didn't match the vibe of the Toy Story and didn't got much success. So they are planning to give Buzz Lightyear a special, you can say, a more special focus in Toy Story 6, because he's a main character with Woody in all these movies, but he didn't get that type of focus which Woody got and which Jesse got in Toy Story 5. So I think so that, I mean, your idea to this extent is very right, that there must be a group of toys which is led by Buzz Lightyear in some manner. Maybe, but in that way, I mean, what you are saying, that Jesse stays with Bonnie and Buzz stays with the lost, or you can say, deleted toys. In that way, Buzz and Jesse got separated, and I don't think so that they will do that, because at the end of Toy Story 5, we finally saw that Jesse and Buzz are together. They are always together, but Buzz finally confessed his feelings for Jesse to her openly and for the very first time. And he, you can say, really loved it. And also at the end of in the ending scenes, in the ending credits, we can see Buzz and Jesse getting married in a, you can say, in a toy playtime. So these all indicates that they also want to continue this relationship in the upcoming movies, like they have carried on the Bo Beep and Woody's relationship. But also it's possible, like they have, you can say, vanished the Bobby for Toy Story 3, and then she returns back in Toy Story 4. It's also possible that for a movie for Toy Story 6, they just, you can say, separate their ways, and after that in Toy Story 7, as they have said, that there are more stories, more ideas, more things to come, so that in Toy Story 7 they can reunite them in some way or something like that. Yes, yes, you are obviously right. Obviously your fact about the Woody and Jess, sorry, Buzz and Jesse's relationship is also a major thing here. I really forgot about it. Yes. So yeah, that's one another thing, another perspective here. That that Buzz and Jesse's relationship will be focused in Toy Story 6. So if that's the case, then obviously we can't expect that Buzz led some other group, or Buzz and Jesse especially got separated. Then I think so that one thing which I was thinking about is that they can also use the concept of the drafted Toy Story 3 storyline, which you could say which wasn't got produced back in to 2010. Obviously, we all know about that storyline, and for those who do not know, I will explain them here. That in that you can say version of Toy Story 3, uh, Buzz was, you can say, there was a major malfunction in the, you can say, Buzz toys, especially of the set from which the Buzz Lightyear belongs to. That specific set have a malfunction in them, and for to, you can say, get it resolved, the company is offering to send all the toys back to Taiwan, where the company is based. So that you send your toys, your Buzz toys there, and they got them fixed and said you the, you can say, repaired one. But and obviously when Andy saw that Buzz is, you can say, malfunctioning, he sent it to there, and then they have, you can say, the adventure there. You could say, follows the Buzz with a group of toys when they get to know that they are actually destroying the malfunction toys and sending the new toys. So in order to save their best friend, they go there. Yes. So it also could be a possibility or something like that. They got the inspiration from it, obviously. Yeah, definitely. You're right here that the scrapped of ideas of previous Toy Story movies, especially about Toy Story 3 scrapped of idea, can be really suitable here if they wanted to shift focus on Buzz Lightyear. But that again, that idea was, you can say, that be more, I think so, more towards that kind of, you can say, thing. Because as of now, the storyline has proceeded so much far away, like Buzz got Jesse, and Woody got towards the Lost Toys and things like that. So I think so that that idea would be still possible, but I think so that here something would be more different. And if we see the things like Toy Story franchise have, you can say, over the years follows the trends. I think so that Toy Story 6 can have an element of AI toys or something like that, and which you can say makes Buzz Lightyear, because he's also a tech toy. Because whenever there is a tech toy is performing well, only one of the toys is, you can say, feeling more nervous or more, you can say, sad, which is Buzz, because he's actually a tech toy and one of the very latest toys of his era. But when he sees the toys more competitive and more compatible than him, he definitely have, you can say, that kind of self, what you can say, a low self-esteem kind of feeling, that he's not, you can say, that good, or he's an older one, something like that. So that definitely, you can say, makes the things more, you can say, different for Buzz Lightyear. So I think so that Toy Story 6, instead of, you can say, just picking off the scrapped of ideas of Toy Story 3, like you mentioned, this Taiwan adventure, I think they will more focus on some latest thing. And if we are discussing Buzz Lightyear, then what can be more best than some AI or some toys like these which can use AI? Because Buzz is also a tech toy, and he always feel this thing when some other tech toy is performing well, that he's quite older now or something like that. Because also in Toy Story 5, they have shown Woody as older, as an old toy, and they also I think so have an element in Toy Story 6 that Buzz is also old, because definitely Buzz is a tech toy, latest in all these kind of toys. But yeah, when it comes to the tech gadgets and toys, he's literally, you can say, older one, because he was good but at his era. Right now he's, you can say, not that much good. uh, so I think so that it will follow something like that, most likely. Other than that, but yeah, definitely ideas can be picked off from that scrapped of movie or something like that. Yes, obviously, and one main thing which you can say we should also consider here is that uh, what will happen with the Bodhi's toys? I mean the Bodhi's original toys, which were in the Toy Story 3. Obviously, Buzz, Jesse, and the gang. When we say about that Bodhi, you can say pass the toys to some other kid or something like that. Then we obviously think about Buzz, Jesse, and the rest of the Eddie's toys gang. But you can say, will the Bonnie's toys or Bonnie's original toys also get along with them? Something like that. Especially this scenario, we are discussing this scenario, especially if the Bonnie is still young, is still a kid. Like we have already discussed that it might be possible that Bonnie is still a kid, and as Eddie Stratton said, that there could be multiple toy owners, so toys get scattered. So in that case, what would happen with the, you could say, Bonnie's original toys? Yeah, I think so. They will do. They are now in the same, you could say, group as of the other toys, because they are now all working together. So I think so that other than a few of Bonnie's toys, most of them will just move on with Jesse, or you can say Jesse and Buzz group. They would, you could say, stays or something like that, or would go different, because now they are all, you could say, a part of the gang. And Buzz and Woody are meant to be, and are, you can say, are like to be like that. They never leave any of their friends behind. So I think so that they will just continue the same tradition, and it would be like the same thing. Another interesting storyline point here is the myth that, which is highly speculated, that Toy Story 6 can be based on Andy Jr. Yeah, Andy's kid can be Eddie Jr., or Eddie can have also a daughter or something like that. But yeah, it can be based on Andy's child who gets the toys. Like Bonnie grew up and she passed on the toys to Andy's kid, maybe a girl or a boy. Anyway, he just uh, he just passed on the toys, and after passing on the toys to the kid, the toys finally returns back to Andy after years of, I could say, uh, staying away from him with Bonnie. They finally got to his home, and then there can be a storyline revolving around Andy's kid, or maybe another major part of this, you can say, theory is that toys actually confront to Andy's that they are actually alive all these years, and they're feeling something like that. And he finally realizes that his toys were alive, and how well he treated them actually, because so far in this franchise there's only a single kid we have seen which loves the toys as much as they love them, which is Andy. And Andy, you can say, is actually a actually a kid who has given the life to all these toys and all the storyline arc, like how he managed to care about his toys and something like that. No other kid in the franchise we have seen. Obviously, we have seen multiple kids in the franchise. It's not about only Andy or Sid or Bonnie. There are also plenty of other kids having toys. But like how Andy cares his toys and keeps them clean and good, nobody others do that. Like, for example, I can give you an example. At the end of Toy Story 2, when you can say the Stinky Pete was got donated, got dirty dot got picked up by a girl who also had a Barbie doll. That Barbie doll revealed that she loves painting, and that Barbie doll was so dirty with paint or something like that. So this actually revealed us that child or that girl was actually, you can say, not that much careful about her toys being safe or something like that. So Woody, and also all the toys mentioned this in the Sunnyside Daycare, that Andy has never played with them so badly. So Andy has always cared about his toys, and it is also possible that in Toy Story 6, Toys can have a final confrontation with Andy, telling him his secret. They are actually alive. But the chances of this are certainly very low, because the reason is that if something like that happens, that Toys actually confront that they are alive to Andy or someone like that, that would just mean the end of the, you can say, the whole franchise or something like that. And I think so that they will do any kind of thing like that, that tries revealing their secret that they are alive to everyone. I think so they will just carry on the things for now. Maybe if they want Toy Story 6 or any other Toy Story movie to be conclusive, or the last one, they can use this idea. Finally, Toys revealing all the universe that they are actually alive, maybe to Andy, Bonnie, or any other kids, something like that. So, but anyways, if we discuss as a whole, then Annie's return in Toy Story 6 is highly speculated. But at the same time, I remember during Toy Story 4, there were a lot of rumors, and it was officially confirmed by Pixar's production team at that time that uh, Annie's story with the franchise is over. There is no more Annie story in the franchise remaining. Annie is done with his job with the toy that he is now not more in the plans. But still, uh, we do have a gut feeling that it's possible that they bring back Andy in some way, maybe in the Andy Junior's way, like Andy's kid got the toys or something like that. I think so. They should. And one of the major things we will furthermore discuss in the stream is that they should also bring their arch nemesis, their arch rival, the main villains of the storyline, Lotso, Stinky Pete. Where are they now? They should also bring them. Although we have got a cameo of, I think so, Lotso in the Toy Story 5, that he was, you can say, still hanging over the truck, or a truck, or a, yeah. We have seen him in the Toy Story 5 for a little cameo. But still, there are actually, you can say, a twisted and that kind of villains that they should use in the franchise again. Like maybe they can make a comeback for also in Toy Story 6 in some way, for taking his revenge. And in the same way, they can also, you can say, engage Stinky Pete in some kind of thing that he's taking his revenge or something like that. They can do something like that because they don't need to build, you can say, villains every time. They do have that kind of villains already which they can use. So obviously, Akhtar, and one major thing I want to discuss here is that we do not know that what's the problem with the Toy Story, but they didn't, you can say, maintain the what you can say, the image of their villains. Obviously, the first thing is that if you notice in all the Toy Story movies, that in you can see there are five Toy Story movies, and as far as I remember, out of three of them have villains like that who turn to be good in the end, like they are doing evil things, but only for, you can say, there is some purpose behind it, that they are doing it in a wrong way. There could be a good way as well, but they are doing wrong thing to achieve something good, something like that. And in that they got good. So out of the three, out of three villains like that, and the two villains like Stinky Pete and Lotso, which they got, like they are you can say they are pure evil or something like that, and they have bad intentions. They are, you can say, actually ruining it. Like they have shown the cameo of Lotso, he is still stuck in his life. That is so much, you can say, uh, awkward, because obviously Lotso is a, you can say, major villain. You can say one of the best villains to a story in Toy Story franchise, and you are, you can see, destroying his image like that. Like for a scenario, if you need to return him in any upcoming Toy Story movie, what will you then show the fans, that how he got to manage to escape, that he was he was still sticking in the Toy Story 5. So how he could return as a villain in Toy Story 6? You could answer this my question, that if he is sticking still in the Toy Story 5, how he can become a great villain in the next installment? This is the question which should also be asked from the creators of the franchise, that what they are doing with their villains. And now also, if you you can say, get the case of Sid, he was a very good villain. Obviously, he was a kid, he was naughty, he was a, you can say, very you can say, uh, bad kind of kid at that time. Obviously, he was at his young age. Yeah, sorry, there is a comment. Toy Story 6 2030, back to Andy and Sherry Woody Cowboys, June 10, 2030 summer, Andy's house. Yes, obviously we are Dijon Morris. We are also discussing here that Toy Story 6, the scenarios of the storyline, and obviously then we will get towards the release date too. But right now you are right that if we, after some, let's pause the discussion here and get toward the release date. So if we discuss about the release date, then as we all know that. Pixar have already brainstormed the ideas for two Toy Story movies. We got that from the statement of the Andrew Stanton. And if we take it to that into the account, then if there is everything ready, and they, you can say, you mean that they could start working on the movie just after the announcement. Then, as it was expected that at D23 fan event, there could be an announcement for Toy Story 6. So if the work on the movie started just after that announcement, and we can see the cycle of Pixar, that they complete a movie or a film in 3 to 4 years after the announcement. So obviously, uh, 2030 is you can say year which we could expect, especially also if we look into the timeline. Sorry, into the release slots of the available for the Pixar movies by the Disney. So obviously, before 2030, the uh, you can say release slots are covered with, you can say, huge sequels, the blockbuster sequels like Incredibles 3 and Coco 2. So obviously, the 2030 is the expected year. We can expect the 1226 to come out in 2030 or later. Yes. What would you say about it, Akhtar? Yeah, definitely. Pixar's development cycle is very unique than any other, you can say, animated studio. They do work for at least 3 to 4 years or 4 to 5 years on average on each film, and whether it's a sequel or whether it's a new idea, they take this time usually on every movie. And also taking into account that if they do announce a Toy Story movie right now, because obviously Toy Story 5 is soon crossing $1 billion in the box office, so they can announce one. And I think so that Andrew Stanton himself wanted to direct more Toy Story movies and got more Toy Story movies. So it is highly possible that they do announce it on the upcoming T23 Fan Expo, which is happening in August 2026. And if they do announce it in August 2026, then most likely it will come out sometime in 2030 or later, not before than that. Because the reason is that Pixar already had got Incredibles 2 in the works, which is coming out in 2028. And then Pixar also have Coco 2 in the works, which is coming out in 2029. So the only release slot available after this is 2030 or later. And before, if you ask something before than that, then it's definitely not practically possible, because it's already 2026, past half almost, and now it's the next year is 2027, which is, I think so, Hext is coming out uh, in that one. And after that in 2028 Incredibles 3, then in 2029 there would be Coco 2, and definitely then 2030 is the slot which is available for the next Toy Story movie. And anything earlier than this, sounds really surprising, because it's not that I think so possible. Obviously, if we could expect it before that, then it should be a case that Toy Story 5 or 6 uh, should be in work together. Obviously, because you can say, if we are talking about a Toy Story movie, and it usually take, you can say, about 4 to 5 years for Pixar to make a, you can say, simple film. And if it's a Toy Story movie, then obviously you can say expect it in 6 to 7 years at least. But still, we hope so that it will come out in 2030, or if not, then obviously later than that we could obviously expect it. But we wish that it will come as soon as possible. Yes. And now, as we were discussing the scenario, was that I was saying to you, Akhtar, that also the example of Sid, that he was introduced as a good villain in the first film, but in the second film he was absent. Obviously, we have Stinky Pete in that film. That's good. But in the third film, when we got a cameo of Sid, and we got to know that he's a garbage collector now. And then also by the end of Toy Story 3, he saved the toy. He saved the toys as well, by helping the, you can say, aliens, the Pizza Planet aliens, to manage to go to the train, and you can say move them. Obviously, so that's a good thing that they make, you can say, set a good person by the end of the day. But the problem is there, they have, you can say, ruined his future. Obviously, they have ruined its career, obviously, something like that. Like, it's a proper character set, and they have, you can say, make him a garbage collector. And then obviously, by the end of the day, make him a good guy. We aren't, you can say, have any issue with it. But making him a garbage collector, what you could expect from these kind of things, like they're on renewing their, you can say, major characters. Yeah, but I mean, I do think so that Toy Story production team is very, you can say, wise in twisting the storylines around things. And I think so that they can use this as a tool to make Sid a more greater villain in the upcoming movies. Like they can show something like that after those events of his, you can say, of his childhood. He got really traumatized from the toys and from everything, that he couldn't perform well in any kind of other things, and he ended up being, you can say, a trash man. And after that, he, you can say, got that kind of villain arc that he wants to destroy the toys by revealing their secrets, that they are actually alive, and he's up to working on this. But also that kind of thing is very you can say popular, because the reason is that they've already shown that Sid is a uh, garbage boy. Not only that, he also saved the mini aliens, and after that they saved all the toys. So he's still somehow, you can say, saving the toys. So making it work like this, I don't think so it would be much possible like that. Yes, and if you honestly ask me about which villain could have a return, then I might suggest you that Stinky Pete could be a good option, obviously, because they haven't shown any cameo of it after the Toy Story 2. And so you can say his return or revival could be more, you can say, have a more big impact. As we have, you can say, on the other hand, we have a cameo of Lotso in Toy Story 5, we have a cameo of Sid in Toy Story 3, obviously. And in the Toy Story 4, obviously, we know that Gabby is the main antagonist, but in the end, by the end of the movie, she was, you can say, revealed to be good by the heart. So we could expect the Stinky Pete, because for a long time after, he only appeared in only one Toy Story movie. So we could expect this return of Stinky Pete in some manner, or might be there's also, you can say, this could be also a good idea, that if all the three villains, Lotso, Sid, and Stinky Pete, get combined in the Toy Story 6 movie, and they come to, you can say, fight with the, you can say, in a fight, or in a something like face off with the toys, with the Buzz, Woody, and the gang. Obviously, as we all know, that Sid already know that toys are alive, and while Stinky Pete and Lotso already have the, you can say, have a revenge to take from the Woody and his gang. So that makes sense, that if all those three get combined, because they get together, shakes the hand, that only to, you can say, face off and compete the Toy Story, sorry, the twice, the Woody and Buzz try again, obviously. So it could be, you can say, also a great opportunity for the Toy Story 6 to combine all these villains. It could be a very great idea, a very great arc in the franchise. If the three, you can say, most, you can say, favorable villains, Lotso, Sid, and Stinky Pete, get combined for a mission to, you can say, fight off and face off the Buzz, Woody, and the gang. Obviously, they all have their revenge from them, and they could take them in that way. While the Woody, Buzz, and rest of the gang have to survive it, obviously, because rest of the two villains, like in the Toy Story 5, the technology isn't portrayed as pure evil by the end of the movie. Also in Toy Story 4, you can see that Gabby isn't portrayed pure evil by the end of the movie, even though also he is subordinate as well. So we could expect that, think that if these three villains could combine like that and come in the Toy Story 5, then it could be also a great storyline arc. Also, one thing here is that Toy Story 6 will have the Andy Jr. Yeah, the concept of Andy Jr. here could also be possible. Akhtar, you are obviously right, and that's because the yeah. Okay, we will be right back in 10 minutes. Yeah, so yeah, sorry. Where we were? Yeah, we were on the. Yeah, first of all, hello, Epic Sammy. Hi, how are you? Yeah, yeah, we were on the Sid's arc, or yeah, we were on the Eddie Junior arc. Okay, yeah. So yes, as you have said that the Toy Story 6 will focus on Andy Jr. So yes, it's you can say could be a possibility. Obviously, especially we all know that uh, Andy donated the toys to the sorry, to the Bonnie. So obviously, uh, that's also possibility that when Bonnie grow up, he you could say go to the Andy's home and pass on the toys to his kid. Obviously, the toys originally belonged to Andy, and also she gives her own toys, her originally owned Bonnie's toys to the Andy's kid as well. So that could also be a possibility. Yes. Also, if you guys and if you guys want to, you can say have discussion, then you can also join us in the comments. And we also, if you get again for those who have joined us now, if you get into the release date of the Toy Story 6, then we could expect it in 2030 or later, obviously, because till then the release slots for the Pixar movies are already booked with the Coco 2 and Incredibles 3, obviously, and also if we you can say study the cycle of Pixar, then they usually take for about 4 to 5 years after the announcement of a movie to you can say to the release. So uh, if we take into the account the statement above the and you stated that there are you can say two movies they have brainstormed ideas for. Uh, so it means that they could easily start the work after the announcement at the D23 event, which is going to happen very soon in a few months. So if this immediately start the work on the film, then obviously we can easily get it in 2030, or if not, then obviously later that. But before that, could you can say doesn't seem it possible, obviously, because making a you can say animated movie, especially the Toy Story movie, in such a short time is isn't possible. And also, if they somehow manage to you can say make it possible, then the release slots are already booked with the Incredibles third installment and Coco's second installment. So obviously they will get that slot of 2030 or later. So there is not make you that doesn't make any sense to you can say expect it before that, obviously. Also, if we discuss about the voice cast, that one of the major thing about it, then because there are so many speculations about it, that will the Toy Story 6 voice cast will be AI, you can say will use the AI things or something like that, as the voice actor of the Woody, Tom Hanks, have recently given a statement about it that even though if he doesn't want to make a comeback into Astro 6, that is, they have enough data to use AI for the Woody's voice. This makes, you can say, a huge speculation among the fans that whether the Toy Story 6 will use the AI thing for the voice or something like that. But in that same interview, the Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, both the voice actors of Woody and Buzz, have also stated that they will, you can say, prefer to do it themselves, obviously. But yes, they will look the sixth installment storyline. That if the idea will be good enough and wholesome, then they definitely you can say join the cast of the sixth installment. And you can say if you ask us, then obviously we think so that they will join it by the end of the day, as you know that when the Toy Story 5 was announced back by the Disney CEO Bob Iger, the two voice actors also weren't willing to come back for the fifth installment, but ultimately they returned after reading the script, and we can see that they have their voices in the Toy Story 5. So that should be the case with the Toy Story 6 as well. And so we can expect that the Woody, Buzz, and rest of the gang, the you can say the rest of the voice cast, every voice actor is returning, and obviously if there could be a return of some major character, or there will be some new characters, then the voice cast of them will be revealed soon as well. But the original voice cast, the major voice cast of Woody, Buzz, and all the other characters like Jesse, Bo Peep, and other characters like that, they are return. They will be returning for the Toy Story 6. Yes, what would you say Akhtar, about it? Yeah, about the voice cast, then uh, as of now, I think so that about this officially, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen have given a statement saying that if there will be a Toy Story 6, they would only come back if the storyline is, you can say, more creative and more worthwhile. And if you have already discussed this, that definitely this thing it was also with the Toy Story 5. When Toy Story 5 was announced back in 2024 by Disney CEO Bob Iger at that time, he announced the movie. But at that time, at the time of announcement, there was no contract signed with Tom Hanks or Tim Allen for Toy Story 5. And after that, when they went for the contract with them, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were really hesitant. And the reason was that they think so that doing a fifth installment will ruin the, you can say, the trilogy, or the you can say vibe of the whole franchise. So they were really, you can say, hesitant about that, and they just, you can say, picked up the things again. And they first of all demanded the storyline, the scripts, and after seeing all this, they thought that yeah, it's worthwhile, and they continued. The same they have said for the Toy Story 6, that if there will be a Toy Story 6, they will voice the characters, but only if it's, you can say, creative or worthwhile to do, not anything just like stretching over the storyline, not anything like that. And also here, Tim Allen, you said that you have discussed that before, that he said that Disney can use AI. And here you can say we have seen many instances Disney nowadays using AI for their movies, but we haven't seen any instance for voice AI voices yet in any of, you can say, animated feature movie by any, you can say, big brand. So it would be a very unique thing if they go with something like that. And I think so that would be only the case if Tom Hanks or Tim Allen wouldn't wanted to, you can say, return as the voices. And so far as we have seen them, they are saying that they can do it as long as they can do. They would do that. So I think so that they will just you can say they will return, and for other voice members there isn't any issue, because in Toy Story franchise the main voice cast members are Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. They are the legendary voice actors. All are legendary, but definitely they are the ones who are, you can say, of the leading roles. So they, if they are coming back, then the rest of the other cast is also will be returning. And yeah, there will definitely be new characters, or if there's some old character like Andy, or like you can say not so comeback, or any of the villain comeback Stinky Pete, then for them it would be, you can say, interesting to see that if they recast the old voices, or they you can say cast the new voices, something like that. Yes, obviously. And if we get back to the storyline, then there is also a speculation that in the Toy Story 6, after getting, if they got lost by the Bonnie, the Buzz and the gang joins Woody and the Lost Toys. That's also a possibility of this in the next installment. You can say that some people also think that in terms of Woody with the Lost Toys, they have set up a room for the toys, that if somehow there is some problem with Bonnie, that she doesn't want them anymore in any film like we are expecting in Toy Story 6, they can go with the Woody. So what do you think about it? Yeah, definitely they have set up the things for an instance that if any device wants to leave, they can join Woody. And I think so. There was an idea in my mind, in your minds too, that Toy Story 6 can be based that on something like that. That toys leave Bonnie and joins the Lost Toys and Woody on their adventures and start their road style adventures, because Toy Story is also known a lot for Toys adventure in the outer world. And as of right now, as the storyline is divided between Bonnie and the Lost Toys, so they obviously more focusing on Bonnie. And if Bonnie's element is getting to be eliminated in the sixth installment, then definitely I think so they can shift the focus more towards other than a kid, more towards the roadside adventures of the toys, that like how the lost toys live and how they are helping each another, something like that. So it is also possible, and in that you can say in that regard they can, maybe you can say, find Eddie's kid or something like that. Yes, obviously, but as far as I think, then if there is a, you can say, element of Andy's kids, then they should continue with the Bo Peep. You can say giving the toys to Andy's kids, passing on the toys to Andy's kids, because reaching the Andy's kid like that would be, you can say, very surprising thing. But yes, in the other scenario, if the toys got lost and we wanted to leave Moni, then they can, you can say, end up with the lost toys, and we can expect the more outer world adventures from the toys in the sixth installment. Then, obviously, yeah, definitely, you're right here. And the thing is actually that right now the things are a lot of, you can say, scattered over, because there we just have, you can say, some statements of anti-statin. We have to map the things around that, because there is not any, you can say, a clear statement given yet. But what we can depict is that Toy Story 6 will somehow, I think so, will do something thing with the AI, and Buzz being involved in that as the main focus, and definitely Woody and other gang toys are helping him with his, you can say, identity crisis. And at the same time, we can see the end of the Bonnie's era, like Bonnie can grow up or Bonnie can pass on or lost the toys at the end of Toy Story 6. So definitely these are the, you could say, right now all the draft which we can make from all these statements, given by uh, and you stated in the previous passage of time. And if we finally discuss that about the announcement of Toy Story 6, then it's possible, it is highly speculated right now that D23 fan event can be the one that can have an announcement. And if you ask us, then taking into account the previous announcements, then we have discussed it a lot of times that in the previous years with the previous Toy Story movies, every time it was like that it will be the last movie. Like for example, Toy Story 3 was meant to be the last one, and later on they made Toy Story 4. Then Toy Story 4 was meant to be the last one, and they made the Toy Story 5. But so I'm saying that in all these movies, it was a narrative built by Pixar's production team that this is the last movie. But this time, something is different. This time, the narrative is clear from the start by Andrew Stanton, who is definitely a new member in the team of Toy Story franchise. And his narrative is clear from the very start that Toy Story 6, 7, 8 more can be possible, and there will be more from the franchise. And if he's taking all out this narrative, and then definitely it is possible that Toy Story 5 is already crossing $1 billion in the box office. So it is possible that in the upcoming D23 Fan Expo, which is being held in August 2026, in the upcoming month, a Toy Story 6 can be announced or can be teased. Anything like that can happen, and we can expect that definitely. Or if not now, then we can expect it later, in, you can say, in the start of 2027 or something like that. But definitely I think so that they would announce it soon, because if they wanted to drag on the things, and you started wouldn't just be giving on, you can say, these statements again and again, like he also gave the statements after the release of Toy Story 5. So this is, you can say, a kind of a thing that they are building the fans momentum, they are building a hype, and they're building that hype for something, definitely not for anything like that, like they're just joking or something like that. So definitely I think so that can be announced very soon. Storyline, we have already, you can say, summarized that up. The storyline is scattered right now. We have a few confirmed details which we can map out to make different scenarios, and we have also discussed the possible storylines, what can be the possible storylines, definitely. So all these things, I think so, that concludes to that Toy Story 6 is going to be, you can say, more unique and more good. And definitely one thing is confirmed, it is going to happen. And if you ask us why there is no any official confirmation yet, yeah, that's right. But definitely Andrew Stanton has given statements, not only a single statement, a bunch of statements over this in the previous, you can say, few months. And that's all the thing when you want, or you're creating a hype for something. And also, not only that, now even Tim Allen and Tom Hanks have said that Toy Story 6 can be possible, because if I take back into if I take you back into the time, then in Toy Story 4, when the same question was asked to Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, they said that as of right now, they don't think so that there would be a Toy Story 5, but if so, they would return. And now their statement is that if there will be a Toy Story 6, they will return, but only if it's, you can say, creative and good enough. So it means that they know that there is some plans for the next movie already there on the board, but they will only participate if it's, you can say, creative and worthwhile. So definitely, Toy Story 6 is confirmed. If not officially yet, it's still, you can say, they're on the board. And if we finally get into the release date of Toy Story 6, then it will most likely come out in 2030 or later, because 2030 is the, again, 2030 is the least thing which we are saying, because in the previous movies we can see that the gap is about 7, 10 or something like that, these type of years. So even if we are expecting a 4 to 5 years gap, then it's, you can say, a very less gap. So 2030 is still a very, you can say, the least we can expect that it can happen. It can also go up to 2031, 2032, or later. But 2030 is the least which we can expect if the production starts right now. So let's see what happened. Yeah. But yes, obviously, and if we wrap up all of these things, then yes, as you have said, that Toy Story 6 is happening. And the reason behind this isn't only the statements of Andrew Stanton, it's also the result of the box office of Toy Story 5, because ultimately the decision makers are the investors, and they also have, you can say observe that Toy Story's franchise has so much potential, have, you can say, still, that they could even, you can say, earn more from it, and obviously they can continue it in future. And also we have discussed the storyline. Obviously there is not any official storyline available for it yet, but we got the points, some points from the administrative statements, and we got to follow, because to connect them up to, you can say, make some scenarios. And also we have suggested some of our things or ideas, and discussed things like that, some of the theories about the things. And finally, about the release date, we also, you can say, map the release date by the current data we have about the Disney's, you can say, release slots, and also the Pixar's work cycle, and things like that. So that's all from this stream. Yeah. That's all from this stream. And if you guys really want more Toy Story updates and streams like that, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon. Moreover, you can also visit our website www.cartooncritic.com for more blogs and information about Toy Story and other Disney movies and things like that. So, anyways, that's all from this stream. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.